Okay, in this video, we're going to start talking about combinations. So, in the last couple of videos, we talked about permutations where order matters. If order does not matter, we're going to use what's called a combination. And we'll take a look in this video at some examples of combinations, and then to wrap up this chapter, we're going to kind of throw all the examples together and try to figure out when do I use what. And that's really the tough part about this section. So, let's take a look, and it says, if we select R items without replacement from a group of n different items, the number of different groups or combinations can be found by dividing n factorial by r factorial times n minus r factorial. Now, again, I would say, we're going to say use, we're going to say use the calculator here. So we're going to use the calculator here. So, with this first one, we have 5 things. We're going to find the combinations of 5, right? So think about it. This is what with a combination, like if I have 5 people, and then again, we're going to go to our probability function, and it's the next one down. This is NCR. And then, so if I have 5 people, and I'm going to put you in a group of 5, there really is only one way to put 5 people in a group of 5, right? So the number of combinations, if you have 5 things and you're doing combinations of 5, there's only one of those. Now, how about if I have 4 things to choose from, and I'm going to put them in 4 people to choose from, but I'm going to put you in groups of 3. There are going to be more of these because, again, I'm leaving somebody out when I do this. So we go to our probability, we go to NCR, and then 3. So there are 4 different ways I can choose groups of 3. Okay, so again, just to remind you, it's to get to the probability functions, you go to math, and then you arrow over to probability. If it's a factorial, you just type in the number first, then select it. If it's permutation or combination, you put the total number you have first, then you go to this probability key, and then hit enter, and then you put in the number that we're choosing. If you have a TI-30, same thing, but you're going to use this probability button right here. Okay, now let's take a look at this. It says, if we decide to select a committee of 3 members from this statistics class, how many different combinations of students can you make from our class? Well, this is not really clear because I don't know how many students there are in my class. So I took a look at the roster, and currently we have 69 students in our statistics class. So let's say that we have 69 students, and we're going to pick a group of 3 students, right? This is a combination because if I take Joe, Steve, and Mary, and I put them in a group, or I pick Mary, Steve, and Joe, it's the same group, isn't it? So this is going to be 69 students, and then we are finding how many combinations of 3 are possible. So we're going to put our first number in first, which is, 69. And then we're going to go to our probability menu, and we're going to select combination. And then we're going to put the total number we have here, which is 3. And so it looks like there are 52,394 different combinations. All right, the next one says, if 7 musicians are sitting at a table, 3 of them play saxophone, and you randomly choose 3 of the 7 musicians, how many ways can you choose 3 musicians? Again, this is a combination because if I take a guitar player, a flute player, and a saxophone player, it doesn't matter. They're all playing together. It doesn't matter which order I chose them through. So I have 7 total musicians, and I'm going to put them in groups of 3. So this is going to be 7C3 here. So 7, go over to our probability function, select C, and then we're going to put in the number 3. And it looks like there are 35 different combinations. All right. What makes this a combination problem? We said order does not matter. So again, if I have a saxophone player, a guitar player, and a piano player, it doesn't really matter what order they're in. Again, if I flipped it, if I picked the guitar player first, there's still a guitar player, a saxophone player, and a piano player in this group, so order wouldn't matter. Now, the next one says, what is the probability that the 3 you choose are the ones who play saxophone? There are only 3 saxophone players, right? It tells us 3 play saxophone. So how many ways can I get that grouping of those saxophone players? This time, how many total combinations were there? There were 35. Remember, when it asks for a probability, we're going to want to write this as a decimal, fraction, or percent. Since we know we have 35 different combinations, how many of them are the combination which has the 3 saxophone players? Since order doesn't matter, it's going to be 1 out of 35 here. So again, when order doesn't matter, you're going to use combination as opposed to permutation.